Hey YouTube, it's Sonia. I'm coming at you again today with another video and part of my healthy eating, healthy living series. So in this video, I just want to share 10 tips with you on healthy eating. If you have some tips that you would love to share, please do so, because I'm looking forward to us sharing and interacting. So let's kick it off so I don't make this video too long. The first tip, number one, is plan your meals. Do a menu. Let me show you mine. I'm looking over to the side because my mirror is there. Here's my menu for March. As you can see, I do a menu for the full month. I know that a lot of people talk about doing a menu for a week, which is great. It's just better for me if I do it a full month. Usually I try to do 2 months at a time. Like now I should have April's done, and I don't. I've fallen behind. So I'm going to work on April's this weekend. And another thing is, when you're working on your menus, get your family involved. That's very important. It makes no sense in planning a menu if the rest of your family won't eat it. So I think it's very important to include them in the making of the menu. Kids, husbands, boyfriends, whoever will be eating, include them in the menu. So that's my first tip. Tip number 2 is, after you do your menu, create your grocery list. You know, if you shop once a week, before you go out, make a detailed list. Go through your menu, see what items you need. Make sure you check the refrigerator and the pantry and everything to see what ingredients you have and that you need to pick up. It saves you so much money if you make your menu number 1, and if you make a grocery list, you will save a ton of money. And get the family involved in making the grocery list as well, because I don't know how it is in your house, but around here, lots of people will use up things and won't tell me, and I'm the one that goes out to the grocery store, and they're like, well, we don't have so and so. It's like, well, nobody told me it was gone. So anyway, get them involved. Maybe put a couple dry erase boards in the kitchen. That's what I have, and it's like, just write it up there. If it's getting low, just write it down. So that's important as well, making a grocery list. So that's my tip number 2. Tip number 3, let your children help you cook. Just like they help you plan your menu, let them help you prepare the meal if time is available. We do that usually more so on the weekend because I'm not rushed as much, but I get my 8-year-old to help cook. I have a 19-year-old. I try to get him involved as well, because it's like, you know, you may get a woman who don't like to cook, and you need to know how to cook because you got to eat. So, you know, try to get everyone involved, but especially your children, because if they help prepare it, they will usually eat it, or at least be willing to taste it. So I think that's important. Tip number, tip number 4, take your kids with you to the grocery store. I think that's important for them to just see the produce and help pick them out and put things in the cart. It teaches them how to shop, you know, and it teaches them to have a list, because they see what you're doing. So I think that's important. So I think that's tip number 4. Tip number 5 is to start a garden and get your family involved. Like I said in another video, I do garden. I try to get everyone to help, and it's just fun to you know, plant what you're going to eat, or grow what you're going to eat. You know what's in it. You know, I do organic gardening, so I know it has no pesticides in it. I don't put any pesticides on my lawn either, because I'm scared it's going to leak over into my garden. So that's a lot of fun. It's fun. It gets the family involved, and you know where your food is coming from, at least your vegetables and fruit, if you can plant fruit. And if you don't have space for a garden, you can always garden in containers. You know, that's how I started. I would do it on my deck. So you know, that's always fun. So my next tip is eating as a family. I think it's important to sit around the table and eat, just to share, you know, say your grace together, you know, communicate about things, what's going on with each other. Just creates a bond that I believe is healthy. You know, it's very healthy for the family to come together at that part of that time of the day, because 9 times out of 10, you know, you were rushing around for breakfast. Someone may have been gone already during breakfast, you know, but dinner is usually the time that a family can come together. So it's important to eat together. My next tip is to invest in a crock pot. Ooh, I love my crock pot. Love it. Because I try to have one day a week that I put it to use. You know, I don't feel like cooking, you know, being in there every day. So on my menu, I try to plan a crock pot day. You know, so I come home, dinner is done. Maybe I may have to fix a salad or something, but love the crock pot. Love it. Great investment if you don't have one. Let's see. Try something new at least twice a month. You know, try a new recipe. Try a new vegetable. Try fixing the vegetable a new way. Try to do something different with your food at least twice a month. If the family loves it, great. You've added a recipe. If they hate it, dump it. I've had tons of both, but it's worth a try. You know, I try to fix something new at least every other week. I try. You know, sometimes it's a winner, sometimes it's not. If it's something that's really odd, I try to have a backup. I try to have a backup because, you know, we've got to eat. So yeah, that's very important. Let's see. Another tip is to snack on fruits and vegetables. See how I am with my time. Snack on fruits and vegetables, like while you're waiting on dinner. Put out a plate of fresh fruit and some dip, or some vegetables and dip for the kids to snack on while you're preparing dinner. It keeps them occupied, and then if they're full from snacking, they don't want to eat as much for dinner, at least they've had something healthy, you know, in the meantime. I think that's very important. And my last tip is to preserve items. You may not want to do that. If you don't have a garden, then that's fine. But I think it's important, you know, because most of us can only plant for 2 or 3 seasons out of a year. And that other season, you know, you're relying on the grocery store, where I think it's important for certain things to be organic. So I want to try to can those things, you know, like tomato sauce or salsa. That way I won't have to buy organic salsa or organic tomato sauce, or just things like that, relishes. You can can those items. So if you have a garden and you're able to produce or have a big enough harvest, you can always can items or freeze items, preserve items, make jellies and things like that. So those are my tips on healthy eating. I hope you've enjoyed them. And like I said, if you have some, feel free to share, because we're all here to learn and there's something to learn from everyone. Take care and thanks for watching.